What's up, guys? It's your boy Brock back with another video. Today is August 31st, 2020. We're doing another podcast here. I'm with my co-host Zach. Uh,
What's up?
and I already talked about this in an earlier video, but Zach has not shared his thoughts on this tragic news. Actor Chadwick Boseman died at the age of 43 of colon cancer, and Zach is gonna give us his thoughts on the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman.
We we not only lost a great man, or no, I'm sorry. Let me restart. We not only lost a great actor and man last night. He was a true hero, fighting colon cancer through 7 movies the past 4 years. He was truly an inspiration to young kids of color everywhere, not just in the United States, but all over the world. I remember seeing Black Panther for the first time in the theater. It was with my family and my cousins and their parents. I remember loving the movie, not only because it was a Marvel movie and I'm a big Marvel fan, um, or the soundtrack. The soundtrack was good. The visuals, or I didn't like the movie just because how good it was. I love Black Panther because of what it meant for the future of Marvel movies. The diversity in actors or lead roles that Marvel would bring into the future. Look at Shang-Chi. That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't be getting filmed right now without what Chadwick Boseman paved doing Black Panther. I loved that one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time was brought to life by this man, being Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick was not only just an actor, but a great man who did tons of great things for the people of color, sick kids in the hospital, and people who are fighting cancer, just like him. He will truly be missed. And for all you film buffs who watch Netflix or like movies or like Chadwick Boseman movies, his final film will be the film adaptation of August Wilson's play Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which will be released on Netflix, and his last performance as T'Challa, or the Black Panther, will be on Marvel's upcoming Disney Plus animated series, What If.
Yeah, truly sad that he's gone just like that at a really young age too. Fighting colon cancer for 4 years, and as you mentioned, doing all those movies. He was truly a fighter. But yeah, it was really sad to hear that. Moving on to more sports news, we have one that was shocking to all of us. And if you're a Jaguars fan, man, I don't know what to say. I don't know what the franchise is doing. But if you guys didn't already hear, they didn't even trade this man. Um, uh, they just released him. Uh, uh, his name is Leonard Fournette. Um, and it's shocking, man. I mean, when you think about Leonard Fournette, he only played 3 seasons. Uh, but I mean, everything was fine with him. I mean, this dude was the 4th overall pick in the 2017 NFL draft.
Well, yes, he was that, but I think he also had 1 DUI and 1 arrest. So if they cut him just on that, I could see that. But they cut him because they tried to trade him earlier this offseason, and they couldn't get, like, in Doug Marone's own words, this is quotes from him, we couldn't even get a 4th, a 5th, or a 6th round pick for him. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter what you tried to get for him. That's personal. Don't say that publicly. Just kind of leave it at, we couldn't find a good place to trade him, and leave it at that.
Mhm.
Or he didn't fit our offense the way our offense will be this season, so we cut him. Just leave it at that. Also, you lose. The Jaguars traded a defensive tackle to the Vikings yesterday, and now they cut Leonard Fournette. You have a history of this. They have a history of this, of screwing up everything for them. You trade your best players away. You cut your best players. You don't even sign them again when they're free agents. You let them go to other teams. Look at where Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns are right now. Hurns is with the Dolphins, and Robinson is with the Bears. Bortles is with the Rams in LA. Fournette is a free agent. Ramsey is a Ram. So the Jaguars are not okay.
Yeah.
They are screwed up in the head. They have a head coach just like the Texans that's out of control, and that's why they suck, because they can't keep their best players. It's like, I'm waiting for them to trade Gardner Minshew away tomorrow. That way they have no star players left on their team. That won't happen. But with their track record, it might.
Yeah, but the problem is when you have a star quarterback with Gardner Minshew and you trade everything else away, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a star quarterback when he has no options available out there. He's kind of useless throwing the ball to people that aren't other star.
They have good wide receivers now. It's just a backfield they don't have. They don't have good running backs now. Leonard Fournette was the only good running back, and they let him go.
I mean, yeah, when you think about this Jaguars team 2 years ago, this team was completely different as it is as of today. I mean, they made the playoffs back then, and then they decided to trade everyone away and not sign everyone, and now look where things are heading for them. I don't know what to say. I'm in a loss of words from them.
I'll say this: if the Colts lose to Jacksonville week 1 while they're in Jacksonville, I will give you $10. But if the Colts win, you give me 20.
That's not how that goes. No. Dude,
What?
I'd bet on the Colts all day on that game.
Huh?
I'd bet on the Colts all day that game. Them playing the Jaguars. I would so bet on, cause I mean
They've had trouble down in Jacksonville the last couple years.
I mean yeah, but look what Jacksonville is right now. Like,
True.
look how much they're struggling, and they haven't even. All they have played is a stinking scrimmage, and they're still struggling. Not just because of the players, it's because of the stinking front office. Because they have not made moves that, well, they've made moves, but moves that are just perplexing to everyone else in the world.
Yeah.
It's just going to be very interesting on how their season goes. Expect for a pretty low record, not making the playoffs by the Jaguars, just because of where they're at right now. I don't see how that this team now can make the playoffs. But yeah, moving on to other football. The Bears head coach Matt Nagy isn't going to name the starting quarterback until he said a week before the first week of the season. Obviously, we have Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles, but he said publicly that he's not going to announce a starting quarterback until a week away from week 1. So yeah, a lot of things to fight, or the quarterback position might already have been won by a player, and Matt Nagy might just not want to say it right now. But yeah, that's going to be
true.
interesting to see. Did we? Yeah, we said Jalen Reagor. Clemson football announced that they're reducing their capacity to 1,900 for home games for their stadium this year. Kansas City Chiefs raised their Super Bowl banner in Arrowhead Stadium as well this past week. Well, actually, 2 days ago it was announced that they did that. Is there any other football news that you have? I actually heard about Alvin Kamara being absent in camp. They said it's related to contract.
They said that it might be related to contract issues. Lucas Oil Stadium and Bankers Life Fieldhouse, where the Colts and Pacers play, will be available as voting centers in November. That's huge.
Mm-hmm. I've just seen this. Washington quarterback Alex Smith takes part in full team work for first time since his injury.
Way to go, Alex.
Yeah, another big step from him. And Packers tackle Billy Turner said boycotting NFL games won't bring needed societal change. He said that 2 days ago. Do you think there's going to be something like what we saw with the NBA? Or is that not going to happen with the NFL?
I don't think it'll happen with the NFL. I think Now, if there's another incident like Jacob Blake happening, well, this NFL season is going on, then there might be a possibility that you could see a boycott or like a protest for a game or two. But I don't think, as of right now, I don't think it'll happen.
So yeah, that's all we have with football. Unless you have anything else to add.
The Raiders released cornerback Prince Amukamara
Oh yeah.
a couple hours ago.
Yeah, I'm seeing that right now. We have a lot of MLB news. Obviously, trade deadline is about 40 minutes away from happening. We have a lot of trades going on right now. But first, the Oakland A's and the Houston Astros have two postponed games because of the Oakland A's testing positive. So yesterday and today's game have been postponed. But there has been a lot of trades. The Cubs got Jose Martinez from the Red Sox. And the Padres got Mitch Moreland from the Red Sox and also traded for Angels Jason Castro. And the Padres have been like a team you're looking out for in the trade deadline. They've been trading away. They have another trade here. They traded their top prospect, Taylor Trammell, to Mariners and received Austin Nola for part of a 7-player deal. And this one was the big one here just a little bit ago. The Cleveland Indians traded away their ace pitcher, who is Mike Clevenger. They traded Mike Clevenger to the Padres. Huge win by the Padres, and they gave up a lot. They gave up a lot, man. They traded Cal Quantrill, Josh Naylor, Austin Hedges, and 3 minor league prospects, Gabriel Arias, Joey Cantillo, and Owen Miller. But yeah, that was a huge one because it's the Indians' ace now turning into the Padres' ace. And this was just a little bit ago, about 5 minutes ago. The Diamondbacks traded Starling Marte to the Marlins. But yeah, throughout this podcast, I might be just shouting out these trades because the trade deadline is literally due in 40 minutes. So there's going to be a lot more trades going on while we are doing the podcast here. So be prepared for that. Also, the Cubs pitcher, Tyler Chatwood, he got hurt yesterday. He left early with elbow discomfort and is going over some tests today. Hopefully that's not serious because obviously with elbow injuries and with pitchers, that can ruin your whole season really, really fast. So hopefully no damage to his elbow there. Did you see that yesterday I was watching the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies? And the Atlanta Braves scored 10 runs in the 4th inning. In the 2nd inning. And they almost lost when they were up 10-0. They just survived 12-11 after being up 10-0. So they survived there. That was pretty crazy to see. But yeah, that would have been pretty crazy if they blew it there as well. Also, old-time player Manny Ramirez, he is 48 years old. He was a former Boston Red Sox and a former Chicago White Sox. He signed a professional baseball contract again at the age of 48, and this is pretty crazy. So he played for the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago White Sox. He's playing in Australia, and the team that he is playing for is the Sydney Blue Sox. So mark that on the list. He's played for the White Sox, the Red Sox, and now the Blue Sox. Pretty crazy. Might as well play for all the rainbow of Sox, as we would say. Hopefully, if somebody finds a Yellow Sox team, he might immediately just go ahead and go on there. But yeah, that was pretty funny to me that he's been playing on the Red Sox, the White Sox, and now the Blue Sox. Pretty crazy how many Sox he has been on there. And the fact that he is 48 years old and he is still playing professional baseball. I mean, man, when you talk about, look, Chadwick Boseman, what, 42, 43? Manny Ramirez is 48 years old and he just signed another professional baseball contract. I mean, how much can you do that for? Like, that must have so much effect on his body, too. I mean, man, the conditioning that dude has to go through in order to play professional baseball at the age of 48, that must suck for him off season. That must have a lot of tear on his body, or he's just working really hard in the off season and making sure his body is where it's supposed to be, which when you're that old and you're getting up there in age like Manny Ramirez, usually you'd retire by now, but you just got to make sure that you get really caught up in shape, because you definitely don't want to mess anything up with your body. Also, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs made history. Well, actually, the Chicago Cubs, I'm going to talk about first. They made MLB history. That's right. For the first time ever in MLB history, all three outfielders for the Chicago Cubs hit 2 home runs in the game. The left fielder hit 2 homers, the center fielder hit 2 homers, and the right fielder hit 2 homers, all in the same game. That has never happened before in MLB history. 2020 and this game has been going on since the 1800s, and yet you're seeing that for the first time ever. Just shows you how rare that is, because that was a first timer ever, actually. And did you see about the Cubs and Reds? They had a little dust up, as we would like to say. Did you see that?
Did I see that? No.
So one of the Reds pitchers threw at Anthony Rizzo's head, and the benches were warned, and now going to the next inning, one of the Cubs pitchers is up. He throws at their guy, and it's around the head as well. So he got ejected. Everybody came and argued.
Houston Astros?
No, the Cubs and Reds. The Cubs and Reds. There was about 7 ejections in that game as well because of all the arguing and kerfluffling there.
Two C's come together. You can't. One has to come out on top, man.
Yeah, assert their dominance. But yeah, that was crazy to watch live too. There. Also, we are getting so yeah, the Oakland A's and the Houston Astros, they were supposed to play yesterday and they're supposed to play today, but they haven't been able to play yesterday or today because the Oakland A's, one other guy's tested positive. They haven't. I don't think they've announced who it is. If it is a player, all it says is a member of the organization tested positive. So we don't know if it's a player or not. But yeah, I'm also focusing, just watching intently on the trade deadline here, as well. Did you see, what was it? Something about Joe Burrow.
I saw him in full year or in his practice uniform in the Bengals stadium. That's all I knew, or that's all the news I saw.
I saw there was a. I thought there was a thing that I saw, but might have not. I might have just been hallucinating, but I don't know. Yeah, I can't see it, but yeah, everybody's starting to come back to practice, and what here? Talk me through what the Bengals. What do you think Joe Burrow is gonna do on this Bengals team?
I think he'll have a good year if the line is good. I mean, they have a decent offensive line, not great like the Colts, but like they have an okay line as long as they keep Burrow up straight and give him enough time. You can throw the ball. The Bengals can have a good year this year.
And also when you were talking about the Colts, you were saying that they have a bad offensive line, correct? Were you saying that?
I'm saying that the Bengals have an okay line. It doesn't match up to what the Colts have, which is one of the best offensive lines in the league right now. But the Bengals line is okay.
Well, then tell me this: why did Andrew Luck get sacked so many times?
Because they put all their effort into trying to build their defense. The first 3 years that Andrew Luck was there, they didn't focus on the offensive line. When Chris Ballard came into the GM position, he built that offensive line for Luck.
Do you think he's regretting it because of Andrew Luck retiring because of how many hard hits he's taken over the years that he's been at quarterback?
Say that again?
Do you blame him for do you blame the line for getting Andrew Luck hit so many times that he's had to retire?
Are you saying that I blame the line that...
Because Andrew Luck got sacked a lot of times, and he That's why he had to retire because of how banged up he got.
I don't blame the offensive line because they're players.
Would you blame the front office?
I would blame Ryan Grigson and the front office for not drafting a better line sooner when Luck was a rookie or in his second year or third year, because that line was just horrible.
And how much effect would it be if you guys had a better, well, like let
we
me.
had a better line when from 2012 to 2014. Oh, Luck would still be playing, no doubt.
That's what I was. Yeah, because I was just thinking about he got banged up a lot. I mean, he got sacked a ton, and it affected his bodies a lot.
Not only sacked, but like hit after.
Just clobbered. How old was Luck when he retired? He wasn't that old, right?
No, he wasn't. He was 29.
Yeah, so like you could have had him for quite a while.
Quite a long, yeah.
Yeah, quite a long time. And why? So I'm not getting why Alvin Kamara is sitting out because of his contract. Is his contract that bad? Like I don't. Oh yeah, it is. He's still on his rookie contract. He's scheduled to make $2 million this year.
Well, being one of the best running backs in the league, you gotta.
But I mean, he's still on his rookie contract, so you can't really. Who do you?
Oh, people! Oh, come on! Running backs and other people have gotten out of their rookie contracts when they've been in the league and restructured deals.
That's true.
So maybe Kamara is saying, "Hey, I want to do that." There's no wrong in that.
Will he be like Le'Veon Bell and just go psycho and refuse to play?
I don't think it'll be Le'Veon Bell issues.
I don't think and let me say this: nobody will ever be what Le'Veon Bell was, ever. No, oh wait, I'm talking about Antonio Brown. Whoops. We haven't heard about him in a while, man. He's just gone from sports.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, I mean he was on the Steelers. He was a beast. Don't get me wrong. He was an absolute beast. But man, imagine if he didn't get into all that trouble. What he would have kept on doing in the league, man. Like that would have been a huge thing for the Steelers if they could have kept him there. Wouldn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
Because when you think about it, like, if you signed like a mega deal with AB there, he would have been on there for quite much longer time.
Yeah, and I think the beef with Roethlisberger kind of got out of hand, and AB wasn't willing to stick that out any longer. He wasn't happy.
So here's my thing. So I don't really have that much more to talk about, but I am wanting to try to stick around until 3 o'clock just to see what like MLB trades are gonna happen, because trade deadline ends in 20 minutes. So do you want to just talk about some other sports or random things until we see what
Well,
happens?
when was it announced? Um, Yesterday, I believe the Colts have come out and said that the Colts hope for at least 15% capacity for their home opener. But I don't know how many fans that would be because I don't know their capacity.
And would that just be season ticket holders, or?
Um, I don't. That's the last thing I've heard, but I don't know if this 15% is allowing season ticket holders plus
Because
like a couple handfuls of outside fans. That's what the article doesn't specify though.
it would just determine on how many season ticket holders the Colts would have, if it would fit up the 15%.
I think the season ticket holders would, I think, fill the lower bowl of the arena, plus both end zone spots of the stadium.
I just saw this headline here. This was the 29th. That who was it? Ryan Fitzpatrick missed practice on the 29th because of his mother's death.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad there. Pretty sad news for Fitzpatrick. And did they already come out that said Tua's gonna start over?
They have not. All the Dolphins are saying right now is that Fitzpatrick gonna start.
I mean, because like with injury and stuff, I get it.
Here's my thing with having Tua start. He just came off a big hip injury this past year while he was in college. He's probably still recovering from that. So, if you let Fitzpatrick start this year, right, have Tua sit, get healthy, all these other things, right? Learn the playbook, get acquainted with players, kind of build chemistry through practices and stuff, and throughout the off season next year. Then have Tua start next year.
Because
if you rush him into after this big surgery that he had with his hip, what say he gets tackled by Everson Griffin or DeForest Buckner or Carlos Dunlap from the Bengals. What if he gets tackled or sacked and he hurts that hip again, or it gets broken again, or breaks something else, An old injury comes up, It's things like that make me wonder if Tua's starting this year is really a good thing. Because I don't think he's ready to start the NFL right now.
Because also, I would imagine that, obviously, with a talented quarterback like Tua is, they have to be just wanting him to take his time to get fully healthy. Because, I mean, this is your future star in the making. that, like, you want to protect this man at all costs.
Like, it, it's the opposite of the Colts situation back in 2012, right? 2011, the Colts have a bad year. Peyton Manning's hurt, out with a neck injury, right? They go 2-14, I think. They signed Andrew Luck in the 2012 draft. He doesn't have the luxury of sitting a year or two and then playing. He's right out of the game, right? Tua has that luxury. You have a veteran quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick who knows what he's doing. He's been in that offense a year prior. He's a veteran. He knows defenses. He knows how to throw the ball away. He knows how to throw the ball quickly. Get it out of his hands. Tua is a rookie, and although he may know those things at Oklahoma, I think that's where he went. He probably doesn't know the playbook that well. Plus, he came off a really bad injury in college. So, I think it's the Dolphins' best interests to just let Fitzpatrick play this year and have Tua sit, or have Fitzpatrick play the next 2 years and let Tua sit and kind of rehab and get to full strength, because you don't know if he'll be at 100% full strength when he comes back next year. He could still be rehabbing, quote unquote, rehabbing that hip. So I'd say keep Fitzpatrick for the next 2 years if the Dolphins want to do that, and then start Tua after the 2 years is up.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting on what their plan is with Tua and what they're going to do. Like, obviously, once he comes back, I bet there's going to be some sort of restriction, maybe, just because of the hip injury and the hip surgery he's coming off of. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what, how he does even coming back, if he's the Tua that we saw dominating in college, or if he's a little bit different.
Another reason that scares me for saying that Tua should start this season is that offensive line is not good. It's like Andrew Luck's first 3 years as a Colt, offensive line bad, okay? Or Jacksonville Jaguars line bad, or what the Bills line was 3 years ago before they got Josh Allen bad. So they still have some work to do on that offensive line before they can even think about starting Tua. Because, like you said, Tua's probably a future face of the franchise, and you don't want your future face of the franchise getting hit 100 times a game.
I think that's the Dolphins' next thing that they have to worry about, is getting a better offensive line and just improve on that, just to add some safety for Tua.
And plus, you got to get more weapons, because right now.
Oh yeah.
But right now you have 2 good running backs in Jordan Howard and Matt Breida, and 2 good wide receivers in Devontae Parker and Allen Hurns. Okay, yeah, I said Allen Hurns is a good wide receiver. Don't come for me. Don't don't hate on me for that. I think he's a good wide receiver when healthy. I'll put that asterisk in there, when healthy.
When healthy.
But besides the point, I think they still need at least 2 more good wide receivers. Jacob Grant, for who's a wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins right now. I haven't seen enough of him to kind of say, yeah, he's a good wide receiver. I haven't. If you've seen a good game of his, I would love to see it because I haven't seen it yet. And don't go to college. I want Miami Dolphins good game from him. Anyway, you need at least 2 good wide receivers, two more good wide receivers, and a better offensive line in order to start to. I think they need to. Work on their defense too. A bit. Their defensive front and their secondary. That needs a lot of work as well.
Yeah.
Let's just say the Miami Dolphins aren't where the Buffalo Bills are right now. The Bills, I can see them winning the division this year because of where they are. And where the Patriots are.
Mhm. And speaking of Patriots, what do you think Bill Belichick has up his sleeve?
Oh, Bill Belichick is probably one of the best coaches in the NFL right now and all time. So I'm not too worried about what he'll do. I'm worried about all the star players that opted out for them.
Yeah.
Off season, and I'm wondering how the backups to those star players will do, or if they put rookies in for those star players, I wonder how they will do. I worry about how they will do for the team, because if you put rookies in there and Bill Belichick is not happy with their performance, they either get benched or they get cut the next day. So.
Yeah, I definitely think that takes a toll on the Patriots on how many players have opted out for them. That's been the case for them.
I mean, I saw this. The Patriots are the only team in the NFL to lose a former MVP and gain a former MVP in the same offseason.
Mhm.
That being losing Tom Brady and gaining Cam Newton. So I think Cam Newton will be a great addition to the offense. Kind of give them a more Jacoby Brissett kind of style offense, because he's a running quarterback. He's more of a mobile quarterback than, say, Drew Brees or Matt Ryan. So I'd say that Cam will be a good addition to the Patriots in offense, and that opens up the playbook more to a mobile quarterback like style for their offense.
Yeah, and I've been
gives them a lot more wildcat options to do down in the goal line.
Yeah, I've been looking at the MLB trade deadline because we are now nearing 10 minutes away from deadline. There was just another trade with the Cubs. Actually, they get another guy in the bullpen, Andrew Chafin from the Diamondbacks, I believe. Chafin. I don't really know But I mean, the Cubs do need relief pitching, so that's good for them. But yeah, 10 minutes away.
I'd say that's a good trade for the Cubs.
Yeah. Do you think there's gonna be any any more blockbuster trade?
I don't think so. I think it'll be all kind of like relief.
Just getting new relief pitchers.
Relief trades. Who knows? It's MLB.
Yeah.
The MLB could be crazy sometimes. It can be really quiet in trades, and have a big one kind of smack you out of nowhere. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Because there is just 9 more minutes until this trade deadline ends, I would say. So we're definitely gonna know if there's gonna be a big name in baseball getting sent somewhere. But yeah, 9 more minutes from San. The NFL Players Association President J.C. Treader pushes to keep daily testing through season. So just basically having daily daily COVID testing done, which should be done, I would say.
That's smart, yeah. Especially if you're not doing a bubble.
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting to see, because also, like, during the season, it's gonna change, just like on the MLB. We were talking about it's gonna depend on how many positive cases a team has, and it's gonna change everything. Well, we were all wrong with this because the Marlins had about all their team gone because of COVID, and they are in first place in their division, and as of right now, they would make the playoffs. So, I mean, yeah, they had to change their whole team because of how many COVID cases they have, and they're in first place in their division. So,
look how good the daily COVID testing is going for the NFL right now. They've only had false positives come up. That being with Matthew Stafford and Josh Allen and 10 Bills players and 10 Jets and Steelers players each. So, I mean, I think daily testing is going really well. Plus, they're tracking, they're contact tracing each player. At least I know the Colts are doing that. But I don't know about any other team. I think the Bears are doing it. I don't know. I think every NFL team is doing that, but I know for sure the Colts are doing it. But I think as long as you continue the daily testing, even with or without the bubble, you'll be fine. The only thing is, I don't think the MLB is doing daily testing, are they?
I am not sure on that. It's either daily or maybe like a twice a week thing or a 3 times a week thing. But yeah. And also, they were talking about, for the MLB playoffs, them having, they proposed having a bubble, for the playoffs. That would be interesting to see. Yeah. hasn't been confirmed on where the bubble would be or if there will be a bubble, but they were talking about that, and I think for this,
Just have the bubble where, just have the bubble. Have the bubble in a major city, like not a major city, but like LA
yeah,
or Chicago. Oh, not Chicago. I mean, Chicago could work, or Milwaukee. Milwaukee could work. Having them play at Miller Park. You know.
yeah,
Have them play down in St. Louis.
that's a possibility.
I would say Miami, but in the Marlins Stadium, but Florida's cases are still. I think they're pretty stagnant now, but they're still kind of up there. Play in Pittsburgh, play in Philadelphia, play in Cincinnati. Have the bubble in those places. It's up to the MLB at some point, you know, to where they want to have the bubble if they have one.
There was just another trade. The Rockies get Kevin Pillar from the Boston Red Sox. As there is 3 minutes left in the trade deadline here. I don't know if there's going to be another big name guy, but if there is, it's going to be surprising on what it would be. But yeah.
Oh, I'm just seeing this. Jack Doyle is back at practice in full pads for the Colts. Good news. That's good news for this team after Trey Burton, their tight end that they signed this offseason, was carted off the field with a calf injury yesterday. And Doyle has been nursing a neck injury the entire offseason, so it's good that he's back in full pads for practice today.
Yeah, really good news for them there. Let me see. We're just about to hit the deadline. We'll see if anything else comes out. Yeah, just about a minute or two until the deadline. The MLB guy that says all the trades and stuff, all like that, he hasn't said anything to go. There's 1 minute left here. Gotta see what will happen. But yeah, I think that's all that's left here for the trade deadline of the MLB. But yeah, the Rockies get Kevin Pillar from the Red Sox. Oh, and the Brewers just traded their reliever David Phelps to the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah. So there's just a couple more minors. Oh, it just hit 3 o'clock. Yeah, there was just a couple more minor trades that happened, but that's all. Yeah, trade deadline is officially over. It happened. Now, second half of the season, almost about to just go for a ride here for the MLB. I think that's going to be all for the podcast. You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
Unless something comes up in the next couple minutes here.
Yeah, I always want to make sure that nothing happened. Like, I always wait like just a couple minutes after the trade deadline just to see if we missed anything out here.
Oh, I forgot about this. Wide receiver Paris Campbell was in a car accident earlier this week
Really?
and was put in concussion protocol.
Did he have any did anything
Everybody was okay, but he was just put in concussion protocol.
So I believe we covered everything, unless you have a couple more things here to say.
I think I I'm good.
Alright, yeah.
There's more MLB news.
No, I think it's all said and done now, so yeah. That's going to be the podcast for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe, click the bell so you don't miss any more videos. I'll see you all later. Peace.